Heyo, welcome to Channel 64 Chats, a monthly podcast with a rotating cast of Channel 64 members that we have made into this community event, later to be posted on the Channel 64 YouTube as a sort of low-key podcast. For anyone watching on YouTube, this was recorded live in the Channel 64 community Discord, so if you want to hang out with us in the chat and ask questions, make sure you follow that link below to join us. And for those here, we are so glad you are. We've made it a Discord stage so everybody can see our screen, and you can chat with us and ask questions in the stage chat. So, first of all, let's see. We've got lots of new faces here. All of the new faces, actually. Most of the new faces. We got Sky. Was unable to make it today, but we've got Martin Smartin. Whoop. We've got Omni. Live Awesome.
Oh, hi. I didn't just break anything. What?
You're good. I moved the camera. Binnish. And Sliding Architecture, also known as Archie. So everybody, what have you been up to lately?
That's a big question.
That's a big question, and you answered first, so we'll start with Liv.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure what I can say that. I've been doing a lot of stuff, but it's not in a video yet, so I guess there'll be a few secrets revealed.
Ooh, spoiler warning.
I'm working on a shop right now. Yeah. And it's gonna make me really, really, really rich. Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
That's true.
That's surprisingly, though, that's taken me like 4 days to work on. It wasn't supposed to take me that long, but it did. So that's been the majority of my time.
It's looking great too. I'm super excited. I think you're right. It's gonna make a lot of diamonds.
Yay!
I don't remember what it is, and now I'm so curious.
I saw it yesterday, and I was like, "Who made this and why?" Especially why?
It was me. Why? Because I want to get rich. I saw all the diamonds that Archie's had, and I'm jealous. I want to be as rich as Archie.
I want a piece of those diamonds.
I want to be like Archie when I grow up.
I mean, yeah, basically.
And Ben, what have you been up to lately?
Lots of building and lots of building and trying to commission airing wife for voices.
That's true.
and more building. And I can't talk too much without spoilers, but we added in like stuffed animal versions of things. So
Oh yeah.
It's true.
Just look forward to that,
Yes, the mob heads have been added to the server, and all of the excitement is here.
Cute. They're so cute.
They're the best.
Commercial break.
Have you heard of cookies?
Definitely not. So
Unfortunately.
Oh, so many cookies.
Everyone who tunes in right now will get a free virtual Minecraft cookie.
Virtual Minecraft cookie.
Call dibs in chat and you'll get your own free virtual Minecraft cookie.
Live
free
sus
of charge.
cookies, the new golden carrots. And Martin, what crazy shenanigans have you been up to?
Me? Oh, absolutely nothing to do with wardens. I am between episodes right now. I have a couple of episodes out. I have a couple of builds here and there on the server, and right now I am moving. Ooh, shinies! Oh, Aerington got it. I am moving and setting up my industrial district now, because I had a noob industrial district, and now I am moving it. And so far today, I've been building a giant iron farm. But only one cell is working, and I moved all the villagers and zombies in, so I'm happy.
Amazing. Nice.
Yay!
Yeah. Fantastic redstone.
All of the best redstone. And then lastly, we got Omni. What have you been up to lately?
Not much. I've been working on a mini game, and it's going to be dangerous. It could make you rich. Hopefully, it's going to make me rich. We'll see.
I mean, that would be awesome.
Definitely isn't a casino, It sounds like.
So from there,
that's about it.
No worries. Awesome. From there, we'll roll into what would be meeting recap, but unfortunately, meeting is after this recording. So what I can tell you, though, is we are prepping for the Halloween event and figuring out what's going on there. If and when we'll be doing a stream day this month. And from there, we'll roll right into the main topic. So this is going to be, we've got quite a large crew here, so we're going to have to rotate through as best we can. But we kind of want to talk about joining the SMP. This is new for all of you, and it's wild having a whole new crew and seeing how quickly everybody has adapted and become such a huge part of the server. I'm going to use that as my excuse as why I've been struggling so hard to like figure out who's new and who's not and who to invite to this, because like it's been so natural, like shockingly natural. I think we've got such a great group. Let's see, but we'll roll right into, I think we're going to go straight back to Omni, because Omni's got a unique story about how you were invited to the SMP.
Yeah, I kind of invited myself because I had been invited last year, and I've been invited.
That's not quite how it works. I'm gonna admit over that one. you had an open invitation that you followed up on.
Yeah, just 1 year late.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Omni actually hacked the server and got in that way.
Yep.
Omni just showed up.
Get rid of me, so yep. That's what I usually do. Yeah.
One day, and we're like, "Oh, can we keep him?"
Wait, you're not the new Walrus mob vote?
Can we keep him?
Nope. Not yet. 2 weeks. 2 weeks until we get the Walrus mob vote.
Got it.
Can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay. This is a pre-snapshot. Not even the rest of the world has this snapshot.
Yep. Omni the Walrus coming to your world soon. Bringing all the mini games.
Yep. But yeah, if we can add more detail, I was on Ripple Effect before, and I'm friends with Duds over. Well, we played together over there also, and so that's kind of why. But I was on other projects, so that's why I refused back then, or I put it on ice, that invitation, and
on
now
ice.
The timing was good for me. Oh ho!
Hey,
and yet the timing was good this time, so that's why. That's why.
Just in time too for all of the shenanigans. We got a lot of new shenaniganizers, so lots of pranks and chaos have been going rampant this season. And then we have
I think I've done the least pranks.
I was gonna say, and then we have the good beans that just keep dropping off presents and birthdays and really putting in the work.
The camera's on me, so I
the
assume
camera
it's me.
is on
Hello.
you. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about how you were invited and the whirlwind of early Binnish on Channel 64.
So I think you found me through Arcadia and
Blackie?
my ring light just fell off of my wall.
Oh no!
Technical difficulties. Pay no attention to the cookies.
Cookies. Distractions.
Sorry, that's really funny. Anyway, I think Aerington found me through the MC Collab station, I think at least, and then DM'd me and did very little to no research. Was like, yeah, I want an SMP, and blindly joined, and it's been the best thing. And then MCC happened, and then the server started, and like everything happened in very, very quick succession. And now we're here, and yeah, it's been so like there was like, sorry, my brain is all over the place now.
No worries.
There was like, I think I joined I joined the server like temporarily because I was feeling super sick. So I was like, oh well, maybe I'll join. I'll just hang out for a little bit, and then like June or July, I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe I do want to join. When does the server start? And then orientation, and then MCC, and then server start, and then all the events, and blah blah blah. Tornado of action.
Right. All right. Do we want to lean right into orientation, or do we like want to come back to that? Do we keep going around the circle?
What's orientation?
What's orientation?
What?
I think we went through this, but what paperwork?
Only Aerington's favorite thing ever.
Only the best part of Channel 64.
Paperwork.
All right, we'll come
Our
back to
favorite.
orientation, and we'll go back onto inside the head.
Oh my
Hello, Archie.
Definitely
Archie
hates
said.
virtual, definitely.
There's nothing inside that head. That
There wasn't a
explains
whole
so
lot.
much.
Not a thought behind those eyes.
So, Archie, tell us a little bit about joining Channel 64.
Well, I'd been doing my single player, and I was on a bit of a mental health break that was going a bit longer than I expected. And then suddenly I had about 4 or 5 different SMPs inviting me. And I felt like the belle of the ball. And then Channel 64 turned up afterwards. And I was like, oh, I actually know these guys. I've been watching their content. They're really, really good. And I took about a month or so trying to decide whether I was good enough to be alongside these wonderful people. And eventually I dropped into, I think it was a random VC you guys were having, and I enjoyed it so much that I just basically said to Aerington, yep, I'm in. And we did orientation right there.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
We're just going to tease orientation until we get back to it.
Yeah, nobody will know.
Yeah.
Huh?
Liv,
Me?
tell us about joining Channel 64. What was that like?
Oh, goodness. Well, all right, let's see. Where do I begin? Well, before this, I was on Crossroads SMP, which I had been doing for, I think, about a year at that point. And the thing about, like, all the other servers I've been on before this point was content creation was always optional, but it's been something that I've really enjoyed doing. But it's really hard to make content when only half the other server is making content. It's kind of hard to explain, but when Aerington reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to join Channel 64, a content-only server? Well, mostly. But yeah, I was really excited. I was like, other people who enjoy making content? Like, I was really excited. And I wasn't too sketched out because I had heard of Channel 64 before then. We had some previous members on Crossroads who got invited, and it looks like they had a good time as far as I'm aware. So I was like, they look pretty cool. So I thought about it, but I didn't think about it long. I was in, and I don't regret that. It's been super awesome being here.
So if it's not too uncomfortable, can we get into the sketched out comment?
Sketched out?
Yeah, so you mentioned that you weren't too sketched out by being asked. How do we lean into the fact of without being overly negative, but like what made you feel more comfortable by the Channel 64 invitation rather than some others that you may have seen or heard of?
I think partially because I had heard of this place before through like actual video recommendations. Like I remember one of Leone's videos actually got recommended to me. So I remember seeing it from there and then knowing that some other people that I knew were over here. It was like, these people actually know their stuff. They've made a name for themselves. I will admit though, okay, I have a funny little story if no
Absolutely.
one minds me sharing. So I like to overthink things. I'll say that at
You
first.
fit in so well here.
Okay.
So
Yep.
Crossroads also has a community Discord, but it's very, very small and not as active. So whenever somebody shows up over there, I always kind of like check them out. I was like, "Ooh, who's this person? I wonder how they found us." And then one day, Loki joined into the Discord. I was like, "Oh, this person has like they have a nice looking thumbnail, or not thumbnail. What do you call those? Profile pictures." He had a nice looking profile picture. I was like, "Oh, is this like another content creator?" And it was. And would you look at that? He's from Channel 64. I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's where Luna and Snow went." And then within I don't know if it was a few hours or the next day, within a day, I got a friend request from Aerington. And then all of a sudden, things started to click. I was like, wait a second. Oh no. And I was like, I don't know any Aeringtons. Where's Aerington from?
You're
Channel 64? Oh no.
you're pulling away the veil here.
I was like, okay, should I accept this? Heck yeah. And there we go.
Yeah, so
I
Discord's a little,
love that.
Discord's
Sorry,
a
I
little
was just
funny
going to
like
say, I
that.
love how it's Loki who was the first one into the Discord, because Loki, I think, is in pretty much every single Discord that's ever existed.
He is.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, so Discord's kind of funny about letting you message new people, which I understand and I respect, like making sure that, you can't just reach out to whoever. But it does make you like either know somebody's information entirely, or you have to friend request them. And so yeah, Loki is definitely probably the one that found you on Discord so that I could message.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I've never actually advertised the Crossroads Discord before, so he must have had to do some digging for that one.
Right.
And then I checked my email like 3 days later and saw that I had an email from Aerington, and I was like, oh.
Oh, that's possible as well.
Speculation could have been avoided. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
and then so we'll move on to Martin. Martin's sleeping. Martin fell asleep.
Martin.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Would you like to tell us about joining Channel 64? What was that like?
Of course. Yes, I have played on one SMP before this, but it was just as Liv said, like content creation is optional. Actually, it's like almost no one made content from that server except for me. So I always felt like it was hard to get others on board to do stuff and to do collabs. And then one day I checked my email for my YouTube account, which I rarely do, and I don't have notifications for it and anything. And I saw this invitation to Channel 64, and I felt like this is spam. Sure, this is spam.
Fair.
But I'm gonna read it anyway. Maybe I have a rich sibling in Africa who died and wants to give me all this money. So I read the invitation with no expectation at all, and then I figured it doesn't have the feeling of spam, so maybe it's not. And I looked into Channel 64 before I replied to anyone, and started looking at the videos, and I'm like, these guys are really good. I want to learn what they know. I want to do this too. I want to get better at content creation. So I replied to the email, and I think the next day or something, we had the orientation and set everything up, and I joined. And I've been happy ever since.
Happy ever since.
Yay!
Yeah.
So we'll kind of go into the back end here before we lean into orientation. And so firstly, all of you were specifically found and invited for the reason that what we do on Channel 64 is we've got a channel for server candidates. So we'll go through different channels, find different people and people that we think would be a good fit for us, whether it's building style or personality, et cetera, et cetera. We'll add to that channel, and then we will hold kind of semi-regular votes And then only the people that pass with 80% will ever get invited. Beyond that, only the people that pass with 80% or more and have means of contact, which is surprisingly difficult to find. So that's why some of you have got emails, some of you have got Discord messages. It's really difficult. I think we got Alpin in the chat who knows the same pain from Autocraft. It's really tough to find ways to contact people. Which is a shame because, it opens up that line of communication for opportunities like this. But so that is how we go about our things here at Channel 64. We'll kind of discuss members, vote on them, and then we will reach out. And so, as you mentioned, email, very probably overly formal email.
It was formal, not overly.
Perfect. The perfect blend. And then from there, we kind of lean into orientation and the voice chat. And so, as Archie mentioned, you hopped into a voice chat right away. How often are we in voice chat, Archie?
Pretty much all the time.
Yeah, considering a lot of us have families, concerningly much. We're in there so much. But at least 34 times a day, we are a family. Exactly, Peep and Chess. So what's it like hopping into a voice call for the first time? Because that sounds horrifying and scary, and I don't know how you guys do it.
It certainly was scary, but I think there was only maybe 3 people in the voice chat when I joined, which and I'd already spoken to you via private messages. So because I sort of bombarded you with questions about the SMP as soon as you invited me, so
which is always a good sign.
Yeah. But yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, the voice chat itself basically convinced me to join the server. So,
Yeah, there's been all of the additions as of this season have been so natural. There's not been a single voice call I've left and said, yeah, I don't know about them. No, every single one I feel so excited leaving because we have got such a good group here joining this season. So let's see. I think all of you mentioned orientation a little bit, but who wants to kind of call me out and make it obvious how overly admin I am? All right. Liv, the floor is the floor and the table, and there we go.
So some people might see this as a negative, but I honestly thought this was an incredible positive. Organization. Oh my goodness. The way to get in, very formal, lots of paperwork, lots of reading and rules and regulations, but nothing that you wouldn't expect from a server, especially one like this where this is the real deal. This is really professional. And it just impressed me how well thought out and planned all these things were. Yeah, we're getting a good representation right here. There's a lot of paper.
All of the paperwork.
There's a lot of paperwork. But yeah, this actually it was all that paperwork that actually helped me feel like, yeah, this thing is legit. What's the word? There's a word for it.
Professional?
Like not necessarily calmed my nerves, but yeah, it assured me. It assured me that this place, they knew their stuff. And yeah. Aerington loves his paperwork.
Yeah, Jess in the chat has called me out for blushing, and he's very correct. Pete, I've had less paperwork when starting in real life jobs. Absolutely.
I have to say, adding on to the whole thing, like when you first invited me, I assume you do this with pretty much everyone, but even though I said I needed time to think about it, you did link me to the documents that are involved, and that calmed me down so much as well, because I was like, oh my god, there's structure, there's professionalism, people care on this server about how things are done, and that it's a safe environment, but also a productive environment for getting content done. I was pretty blown away by it, and like after that, I kept on like checking the Discord pretty much every day while I was mulling over whether to join.
Yeah, it's very nice to have like a very clear, like above board level of expectations for everybody. Like there's very clear standards that we are held to and we hold each other to, and that we like strive to uphold. Like, it's like it's very refreshing, because like what a lot of us want out of this is to have something professional, and so like, you know, it's like the fake it till you make it, whatever. You can't like if you start making something with like shaky foundations, then you're not going to get too far with it. So like having just the solid, this is what we're doing. If you don't want this, like we need to talk about it, we need to discuss, and you know, if you have issues with this, we'll talk, and if not, we'll talk, and like just having the very clear expectations for content and communication is very nice. It's very nice.
And on the topic of that, everything was very clear, and everyone was hello.
Sorry.
Everyone was like, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. If you're not sure about things, we'll talk it out. Everything was very
If I
clear
missed
to
a comma,
understand, and if
let me know.
yeah. The paperwork itself was like easy to understand. It never felt like you were getting the cold shoulder. It felt like everyone was included. Everyone has a voice. Nobody's getting swept under the rug, and it feels like a community where everyone works together.
Yeah.
Starting to wonder if this episode of Chats was too self-aggrandizing, because I'm not okay over here.
The Admin Aerington Appreciation Society podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Aerington doesn't give himself enough credit.
Yes.
I don't know about that. But yeah, I don't even know where to start. So basically, as a kind of explanation, is what it is. Like going into the SMP, we came from, Dave and I came from an SMP where it was very clearly a friend server, and everybody else was just kind of there. You weren't making content for the betterment of the server. You were making content for them, basically, is how it felt. And you never had any control, any say, any conversations. It was always very uncomfortable. And it was rough, and there was no expectations and rules and all that. And so going into this, I know Dave always thought that I was overthinking everything, and I don't know, maybe we are, but it was always the case of I wanted to make sure that any problem that we dealt with in the past, there was no opportunity to have that in the future. That we were set up, and as you mentioned, kind of business-like, and while that feels like the excessive side of things, it is very business-like. There are times in my actual job where I'm like, we've got better things set up for this in Channel 64. But you know, and what it comes down to with orientation is basically reviewing the community, kind of getting to know people if we can hop in a chat, and reviewing the most basic set of rules for what we expect here. You know, our goals of monthly content, the expectation of collaboration, how to play Minecraft with other people. You know, that one we try to skim through as fast as possible, but like, you know, don't go murder somebody and not save their stuff. Don't destroy their house. You know, it's those things that you shouldn't have to say, but we wrote it down because at the end of the day, you signed a document that said you weren't going to go TNT your neighbor. So if it ever happens, we've got the fallback of, hey, that's not okay.
Mhm. I also want to mention, like having it be businessy doesn't mean like it's not just as like fun or like friendly feeling as a friend server. Like if anything, it's more so. Like, dude, being in VC with most of these people feel like my older siblings half the time. Like, like it's very like being businessy absolutely doesn't take away. Yeah. It doesn't take away from any of the experience at all. Like, and we're able to make better content because we have the agreement and also actually like each other. So
Right.
it's like we still got
it's
the
like an
personality.
inverted mullet.
What?
Yeah, it's a party in the front and business in the back.
Got it. Love it.
Exactly. I love it.
And if we can it kind of goes back to what Archie was saying earlier, as far as creating the right environment for creativity, creating that environment of safety and community, and making sure that everybody kind of knows and respects the same lines. We're all here for the same reason. And so if we all kind of stay in that same vein, we've got something great here. All right, now that I have thoroughly leaned into all of the things that I love most about Channel 64, what was it like meeting new people?
Scary.
Hey, think about the contract. Don't kill each other.
No. If we kill each other, we collect the stuff. That's what
Yeah.
You want an inventory of banners and loose pumpkins? Where are there cats?
It's a village.
But yeah, so what's it like meeting new people? Because that is one thing that's always blown my mind, is seeing some of the new people hop in to a stacked chat, because there's a lot of people in our chat a lot of times.
Well, I can take the lead on this.
That would be
And
great.
that's going to surprise you. Because for me, it's actually it's kind of hard jumping into a VC or voice chat with people I don't know and don't hang out a lot with, because I'm not, what do you say? I'm not shy, but I'm definitely on the introverted side of life, and I don't like to be uncomfortable around new people, is I guess what I'm trying to say. So these voice chats in Channel 64 are super chill and super laid back, and I love hanging out here. So that's one thing. But I was really nervous about it to begin with, because I just felt I'm not gonna fit in these voice chats. But it worked out great.
Absolutely.
And I always have my honey bottle.
Got it. No, and there's different sides to that too. Is like there are some people that are more used to, you walk up to them in game and talk through voice mod, and there's other people that are in Discord all day. It's excessive.
Mm-hmm.
All day.
I love it.
All day.
Yeah.
I got a funny story. The first time I joined chat, I hit the chat thing by accident. The first time I joined the voice chat. So I just hopped into the conversation and we talked for a few hours. That was really great. But yeah, it was 100% accidental. It was like last year. I don't know if you remember, Aerington.
Was that season 1?
It was before season 2 that I got invited first, I think.
Yeah, I feel like that was season 1, because I remember, Jess, were we building the pirate district when that happened? Or is that
I think we were closing season 1.
We were? That's wild. Yeah. The voice chat accident is definitely one that is I've done that before.
Yeah. And it was fun. We talked 4 hours, and yeah, it was really cool.
It's the best way to break the ice. Just be done with it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I was super honest about it. Like, I was doing something else. Let me get my mic. Let me pause that video.
Yeah, no worries.
Guess I'm here now.
Any other thoughts on just kind of meeting new friends, I guess?
Terrifying.
Well,
So cool.
Terrified.
It was really scary. I'm gonna be honest, I was terrified. But there was this little voice in my head that was like, you should go talk to them. Go make new friends. Make a good first impression. But my insides were like, I was very freaked out. And I was for a while. I was very excited and really honored, but I was genuinely very scared for the first few calls. And it wasn't really till I think the first week on the server, like actual Minecraft server, it was like one evening, Binnish and I were in a call together and we were editing together, and then Archie joined in and we were just hanging out, talking about editing and all this random stuff.
Yeah.
But that was like when I really felt like, oh my gosh, these people here are really nice and I feel like they're friends. I think things are that was kind of the moment where I was like, oh yeah.
Was
That's
that the siren call by any chance?
I think it was it might have been the same night. I think it might have been that night, yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, we saw Archie's video where me and Liv were the sirens on the rocks. That happened at like 11 o'clock at night for us. Archie had just left and was like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. And he comes back 5 minutes later and goes, guys, I have an idea. Get on the server. We're like, okay.
Oh, okay.
As all of the best ideas do.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, you say it
one of
was
my
like
favorite
11
bits.
o'clock for you. I think it was like 4 a.m. for me. Something ridiculous like that. Like for me, I after the first call that I had with everyone, I think most of my calls for a while were with Jess in the middle of the night over here in the UK, just because of Jess's schedule. And I think we spoke for about 3 or 4 nights in a row, and yeah, like each day I was looking forward to those chats, and then it just became so much easier joining the VC with everyone else. Again, I just it's the highlight of my day to join the VC with, you know, people from around this table and people on the rest of the SMP. It's it means a lot to me. So I'm incredibly happy that I joined.
And around the
Making
world,
everybody cry.
which is still wild.
Yeah. For me, I think I started joining VCs after my school had stopped. So like I was very much at a point where I was like, I need people to talk to. So I think the first time I joined was when I wanted to do orientation, and then like we were just going through the paperwork and like half the server joined because that's just apparently what happens when orientation happens. Everybody joins. It's so entertaining. For some reason, it's so entertaining to watch Aerington go through the paperwork with somebody else. Everybody
It
joins.
really
It's a whole server event.
So many people show up. So many.
It's like the whole server and just show up to listen to the paperwork. So like it was so easy to get to know everybody because like people were like throwing out jokes of the different parts of paperwork and being like, oh, that doesn't apply anymore. And like, you know, like oh, that's for that person, and oh, we did this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it was just very nice. And then like it was hold on, I'm starting. It was very easy to like get into the group, and like there really was no period of like, oh, I'm the new kid, I'll go hide in the corner, you know, until somebody talks to me. Like there's very like you're just there and everyone's like, yay, you're here, and then you play Minecraft together and it's great. Like it's so there's like no acclimation period, whatever. You just dive right in and everyone is so happy that you're there, and it is the nicest feeling ever. Like
Yeah, the level of friendship never ceases to amaze me. Like no matter what recording I leave, even if I'm just like, I don't feel like I was that entertaining, I don't feel like that we got that much good footage, you're watching through later and you're like, no, there's lots of great stuff just because we're friends and that's what happens. Like we had a good time. It's It's wild.
It's so much fun. And like we've had calls where we're just literally editing in silence, and even that is fun. Like we have an editing silence channel. We have a channel for it, but we'll just stay in general and people will be editing and every once in a while be like, "Oh, I didn't want that. Oh, crap, undo. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on." Like it's just silent mumbling while people are working, and it's still like the nicest time ever. Like
Yeah, the mumbling calls are real.
They're so real.
Your silence, and then somebody gets attacked by a warden in the game, and they're just screaming. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that didn't happen today.
No, of course not. All right, let's see what we've got from here. Is there so we can talk about kind of expectations or maybe first episodes, plans for the future. We got about 10, 15 more minutes. Or is there just anything else that people want to kind of touch on in regards to first impressions and what it's been like?
Oh my goodness. I do. Again, I know I'm talking a lot today. Oh my goodness.
Totally fine.
Another funny story from Liv. Well, maybe not funny. I kind of find it funny now. So week 1, I decided that I am going to go a lot more chill. Well, I want to lean more into lore for this server, for this season. But I also want to take it slow because on Crossroads, I went all in right away. And it was so fun, but it was exhausting. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take it slow. I'm just going to ride it out. And then everyone from season 2 here decided to release their season finales. And oh my goodness, I'm not calling any particular people out, but especially Justice, Loki, what? Seeing those videos and then looking at my footage for episode 1, I was like, oh crud. My video is so bad. So I actually messaged Aerington. I was like, Aerington, I'm not sure if I fit in. My video is so bad. And he was like, oh no, it's fine. We chose you for a reason. You're gonna do great. I was like, no. But I'm starting to feel better now, but holy cow. Was that like raised from like 0 to 100 real fast? Like these people, they know what they're doing. Yeah. So now I feel like there's high expectations put on me, but that's okay. I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better. We're gonna do great. Yeah, that's my funny story. Oh, thank you for the fish.
I totally get that. I mean, like after we all joined at the same sort of time, and I know I went off with on an adventure with a bunch of people, and then with me and Aerington, and I logged out, and immediately I was like, the expectations that aren't really there, but they're in my head, just like slammed me, and I was like, oh my god. And then the finales came out, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to up my game about 2,000%. I'm so glad I have, because I'm so much prouder of what I've put out because of it, and the stuff that I've got planned for the future is going to be some of the best stuff that I've ever done. So I'm glad that I've had that push, even though there was never a point where I was in a VC or something and like Aerington goes, you need to do better. It was more like, you're doing amazing, calm down.
Yeah, no, that one. Because there is a lot of that.
Are you human? How are you alive? Go to sleep. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's so good.
You're good.
It's super cool. There's like, it's a weird balance of like, there's a very like high bar, but it's one that's like there willingly. Like, we all feel like a little bit of a pressure to just make really epic things and you know, try and, you know, like one up ourselves and just get better and better, but not in like a, oh, I need to be as good as them, you know, in more of a, I want to be a better creator kind of way. And so like, we're all like if we're all like asking each other for help and being like, okay, I want to do this specific thing. How can I do it editing wise? And asking around and teaching each other different tricks and motivating each other and reassuring each other. So like there is a high bar that we want to achieve, but it's not in like a pressure way, in like a we got this, let's do great things kind of way, if that makes sense. Like, and it's very cool.
I think Peep said it best
When
in the
I
chat.
grow up, I want to be just like Loki.
Yeah, I think Peep said it
Oh my
best in the
gosh, yes,
chat.
Peep, that is so true.
We're always
That's
pushing
so
each other to
true.
be better naturally. And our biggest audience is 100% each other. There are a lot of videos that I can point out that no one will get as much as we do and as much as we made it for each other. Loki's finale, like that was
Made us all cry.
It wasn't even fan service. That was Channel 64 service.
It was great.
I cried. I think I might have actually cried. I got pretty worked up on that one too.
You definitely
I've been there for like
cried.
3 weeks and
You
I
definitely
cried.
Yeah. And poor Creeper Man. Absolutely.
Yeah, good Creeper Man.
Oh.
I was heaven for Creeper Man, truly. We all definitely cried. Absolutely.
So let's see. I don't think I've seen any specific community questions. If I miss some, please let me know. Any last thoughts kind of before we go ahead and start wrapping up? We've got our Channel 64 meeting after this, so we got to keep her moving to some degree. Jess asks, was it weird seeing some of our videos and then hearing our voices?
I was
Completely.
dumb and didn't really watch anybody's videos first, so no.
Wild.
My main one was Jess himself, because I've been watching Jess since season 1, whereas I got into Loki and a few of the others during season 2, and but yeah, first time speaking to Jess, I was like, oh my god, I've been watching this guy for ages now. What's going on?
My dad is a Jess stan now. Like, he watches every video. He's gone through all the old Channel 64 videos. He is absolutely a Jess stan. And like, anytime I'm in VC and he comes in my room, he's like, oh, is Jess there? And I'm like, no, he's asleep. It's the sweetest thing ever. He's such a big fan. Yeah, Dad is just absolutely a Channel 64 stan. It's great.
Love it. So I think that's about all. Oh, nope. Go ahead. Please.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the person that I went and
What
no,
have you done?
no,
Why?
He's not going to be okay.
Oh, it bounces. Bring it back.
We're just
He's trying.
gonna pretend that that's not
And
there.
he's
Right.
gonna bounce off a cliff.
He's-
Yup,
he's-
there he goes.
Yeah,
He's gone into
that's
the
me.
ocean.
Please tell me there was
That's the
water down there,
ocean.
right? Oh,
Yes.
there was definitely water down there.
Yep.
Just don't look. Don't look.
No.
I
Hey.
was just gonna say that for me it was Aerington that I binge watched after I got the invite. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my research, and that research was just Aerington's whole channel and a little bit of Loki. But yeah, for me it was like hopping into the call. I was like, oh, that's Aerington. That's the guy. That's the guy. It's him.
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of the first I've actually heard that. That's adorable. I love it. Oh.
Why?
No, that's sorry, now I feel like I made it awkward.
No, echo
Somebody else
shards
talk.
everywhere.
Words. La 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 la.
Yeah, I think
It's a
I think I
beautiful
Oh,
just
the
thing.
sirens are back.
The sirens.
La, la,
Best sirens. Best sirens. Yeah.
But I think that's all the time we have for today. So a reminder for anyone watching on YouTube, this was recorded live in the Channel 64 community Discord. And if you want to hang out with us in the future and ask questions, make sure you follow that link below to join us. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.